What happens when your largest trading partner suddenly turns adversarial? How does a nation like Canada, heavily reliant on exports to the America, navigate the storm of unexpected tariffs? In 2025, Canada faced such a dilemma when President Donald Trump imposed sweeping tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, and other goods, citing national security concerns. These actions disrupted long-standing trade relationships and sent shockwaves through Canada's economy. In response, Canada embarked on an ambitious journey to diversify its trade partnerships, seeking new allies and markets to mitigate the impact of American protectionism. This strategic pivot led to strengthened ties with several countries, each playing a crucial role in supporting Canada's economy during this challenging period. Some nations opened their markets wider, others increased investments, and many stood in solidarity with Canada on the global stage. Each move reinforced the importance of global cooperation and reminded the world that economic resilience comes from having friends in the right places. Welcome to our in-depth exploration of the 10 countries that stepped up to support Canada amidst the turbulence of Trump's tariffs. If you're interested in global trade dynamics and Canada's evolving economic strategies, consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful content. Number 1. European Union. Strengthening transatlantic ties. Did you know that Canada has one of the most progressive trade agreements with the European Union? When Trump's tariff struck, the European Union didn't hesitate to help, reinforcing their economic relationship through the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, CETA. The EU became one of Canada's economic lifelines. This agreement facilitated a 65% increase in bilateral trade since 2017. Amid American tariffs, Canada and the European Union collaborated to enhance market access, particularly in critical minerals and small business sectors, providing Canadian exporters with alternative avenues for growth. Beyond the numbers, this transatlantic alliance symbolized trust and mutual economic values. The European Union supported Canadian industries that were hit hardest by American tariffs, particularly steel and agricultural exports. European Union markets became a haven for Canadian products, with increased demand cushioning the blow of diminished access. Additionally, Canadian firms participated in European Union infrastructure projects, while joint research initiatives in climate change, health sciences, and digital technologies expanded. The European Union solidarity extended beyond economics. It was about shared vision and mutual respect. Number 2. Indonesia. Expanding horizons in Southeast Asia. Can a country as far away as Indonesia really save Canada? Absolutely. Indonesia's inclusion in Canada's trade diversification strategy marked a significant step toward engaging with Southeast Asian markets. Through the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, Canada aimed to tap into Indonesia's growing economy, focusing on sectors like agriculture and energy. Indonesia, the largest economy in Southeast Asia, welcomed Canadian investments in food processing and sustainable energy. Canadian palm oil imports also grew significantly as the two nations worked on balancing environmental concerns with economic gains. This relationship has allowed Canadian companies to gain a strong foothold in ASEAN markets and supported job growth back home in industries that needed it most. Indonesia also began importing more Canadian wheat and fertilizer, while working with Canada on skills development and training for rural farmers. Number 3. Ecuador. Building bridges in Latin America. When you think of Ecuador, Canada might not immediately come to mind, but that changed during the tariff crisis. Canada's outreach to Ecuador signified a commitment to strengthening ties within Latin America. By exploring trade agreements and economic collaborations, Canada sought to diversify its export destinations. Ecuador offered Canadian exporters favorable terms on agricultural and fisheries goods. In return, Canada supported Ecuador in developing sustainable mining practices, benefiting from Canadian expertise. This symbiotic relationship enhanced not only trade, but also environmental stewardship and bilateral trust. More importantly, it showed how even small countries can make a big difference. Canada also helped Ecuador boost its tourism and fintech sectors through shared technologies and regulatory frameworks. Number 4, China. Navigating complex trade relations. Isn't China a competitor? Yes, but it's also a key trade partner. Despite the complexities of America-China trade tensions, Canada recognized the potential of expanding its economic relationship with China. By focusing on sectors like agriculture and energy, Canadian exporters aim to offset the impact of USA tariffs. China increased its imports of Canadian wheat, canola, and natural gas. Meanwhile, Canadian businesses took advantage of the demand in China for clean tech solutions and education services. Although political tensions persisted, the economic pragmatism prevailed, ensuring mutual gains. China's market size alone helped many Canadian industries stay afloat during tough times. Educational exchanges also soared, with Canadian universities welcoming more Chinese students, bolstering the education economy. Number 5, Japan. Deepening economic partnerships. Could Japan's calm diplomacy offer Canada stability? Absolutely. Japan's role in the CPTPP offered Canada a gateway to one of Asia's most developed economies. Through this agreement, Canadian businesses gained preferential access to Japanese markets, enhancing trade in areas such as technology and manufacturing. Japanese firms also increased their investments in Canadian AI and renewable energy sectors. Cultural exchange programs and educational cooperation were revived, laying a broader foundation for future bilateral collaboration. This alliance showed that common democratic values can be a driving force in economic resilience. Joint cybersecurity initiatives and space research collaborations are also in development, highlighting a futuristic element of this alliance. Number 6, South Korea. Strengthening bilateral trade. Ever heard of Canada-Korea Free Trade Agreement, CKFTA? This agreement became a lifeline post-tariffs. Canada's existing FTA with South Korea served as a foundation for expanding economic ties. South Korea ramped up its imports of Canadian beef and seafood, while Canada benefited from South Korean innovation in green technologies. Canadian companies also collaborated with Korean firms in developing electric vehicle components and smart tech. The partnership became a beacon for innovation-driven, sustainable trade, especially in the post-tariff reality. Collaborations in biotech and smart farming further cemented South Korea's place as a dependable ally. Number 7, Mexico. Reinforcing North American alliances. Want to support Canada? Stick with your neighbors. Despite shared challenges under America tariffs, Canada and Mexico collaborated to uphold the principles of the USMCA. This trilateral agreement facilitated continued trade in sectors such as agriculture and manufacturing. Canada and Mexico built new supply chain routes that bypassed America bottlenecks, allowing bilateral trade to flourish. Joint ventures in auto parts, dairy, and pharmaceuticals strengthened this North American alliance even further. Mexico proved that regional unity can counter protectionist forces. Both nations also explored shared labor and digital policies to facilitate smoother business environments. Number 8, Philippines. Exploring emerging markets. Think the Philippines is too small to matter? Think again. The Philippines presented new opportunities for Canadian exporters, particularly in the agri-food sector. By engaging with this emerging market, Canada sought to diversify its trade portfolio and tap into the growing demand for high-quality products. The Philippines imported Canadian dairy, cereals, and poultry in record quantities. Educational partnerships also blossomed, as Canadian universities attracted thousands of Filipino students. This growing diaspora further strengthened economic and cultural ties. Additionally, Filipino-Canadian startups in fintech and digital services gained traction in both markets. Number 9, Vietnam. Capitalizing on rapid growth. What's Canada doing in Vietnam? A lot, actually. Vietnam's rapid economic development and participation in the CPTPP made it an attractive partner for Canada. Canadian businesses explored opportunities in sectors like textiles and seafood, benefiting from reduced tariffs and improved market access. Vietnam became a hub for Canadian technology transfer and agricultural machinery. Both countries shared mutual interests in climate resilience, boosting collaboration in green infrastructure and sustainable development. Vietnam also became a new market for Canadian software, digital tools, and health tech. Number 10, Australia. Collaborating with a like-minded partner. Before we wrap up, have you subscribed yet? Don't miss out on more amazing global stories, just like this one. Australia's shared values and economic structures made it a natural ally for Canada. Through the CPTPP and bilateral initiatives, the two countries enhanced cooperation in areas such as education, mining, and clean energy. Australian companies increased their imports of Canadian uranium and educational software, while Canadian businesses gained traction in Australian real estate and healthcare sectors. This relationship, rooted in mutual respect and democratic principles, emerged stronger than ever. Australia showed that friendship and trade go hand in hand. Recently, Canada and Australia have also worked together on developing green hydrogen technologies and cultural tourism programs. Embracing a diversified future. Canada's proactive approach to diversifying its trade partnerships in response to American tariffs demonstrated resilience and adaptability. By engaging with a diverse array of countries, Canada not only mitigated the immediate impact of protectionist policies, but also laid the groundwork for a more robust and diversified economic future. If you found this exploration insightful and wish to stay informed about Canada's evolving trade landscape, hit the bell icon and join our growing community today for fresh updates every week.